Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Zach Cox, and today what I got for you are 5 video games that just completely ripped off the Grand Theft Auto series. And albeit this sounds like a harsh thing to say, or it's just a bad thing regarding these games, it's actually not. I've personally played through every single one of these games throughout the years, and most of them, actually all of them, I think, are just over a decade old now. I'd recommend them to you guys, but like I said, they're about 10 plus years old now, so they're not up to par with the graphics that we're used to today and that we're spoiled with, but they're still nonetheless great games in my opinion. And if you guys find the video enjoyable, then at the end, feel free to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let me know of any other games that you think ripped off the GTA series that I should have mentioned in the video. And with that said out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with these 5 games that ripped off the Grand Theft Auto series. So, if we backtrack to 2002, where everyone was really excited to race down the sun-drenched highways of GTA Vice City, there was actually another game that year that released just a month and a half after GTA Vice City did. This game was called The Getaway, and this came out in December 2002, and it actually prompted in later years the release of the Getaway series, which in all honesty wasn't that bad. And this game was just a little bit different. It was actually the opposite of the ever so popular, vibrant GTA Vice City. The Getaway is actually set under the evergrey skies of London, England, and it's got a completely different vibe to the bombastic, over-the-top humor of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. The Getaway is a dour and serious and dramatic game where you play as a low-key crook trying to rescue his ex-wife and son throughout the game. Like I said before, the game in and of itself wasn't that bad at all. It's just somewhat of a shame that The Getaway was overshadowed by the genre master Grand Theft Auto, or just GTA Vice City. That said, one of the notable things in this game that I always thought was pretty funny is that in this game, you can gain a notoriety level by not following the British traffic laws. Like seriously, who really has the time for that? Next up, we have only the first 2 games in the Saints Row series, Saints Row 1 and my favorite of all time, Saints Row 2. And these were the quintessential Grand Theft Auto ripoffs. The rest of the series is just crazy. They just took it to a whole nother level. They turned it up a notch, and it's really not a GTA ripoff anymore. It's just in a league of its own because this game, or just this series now, is literally out of this world. But with the first 2 Saints Row games, they are thematically, aesthetically, and mechanically the poor man's GTA. Still, they're very fun games. They've got very good storylines in my opinion. I'd recommend them to you guys, and overall, they weren't bad games at all. And being that Saints Row 2 released in 2008 and GTA 4 was very relevant at this time, I got the old school GTA vibe from Saints Row 2, which is why I logged in numerous hours on this game. Moving on, we have The Simpsons and Grand Theft Auto, 2 of the largest entertainment franchises in the world. So, the natural conclusion was to mash these 2 together in an unholy alliance, and that brings us to The Simpsons Hit and Run. And this game was awesome. This was a very comical game, and I really didn't know about this until, I want to say like 2006. I went to my neighbor's house. He used to play video games over there, and he was playing this, and it reminded me so much of Grand Theft Auto, and it turns out that it kind of ripped it off, or it was kind of inspired by the GTA series, which I think is pretty cool, because to be fair, it was a very good game, and it was something for kids who had very strict parents and didn't let them play the real thing, which would be Grand Theft Auto, of course. Thankfully, I didn't have that problem, but some of you guys out there might have, and I'm very sorry for you. Tell your parents that Zach Cox said that they're wrong and that you should be allowed to play the Grand Theft Auto games or just bad games in general. But the city of Springfield in this game is split into 7 levels, each with its own main and sub-missions, and you get basic gameplay mechanics such as driving, interacting with various pedestrians and NPCs that inhabit the Simpsons universe. And surprisingly enough, or unsurprisingly enough, there's no guns or weapons in this game, but you can punch and kick your way to victory and run down other characters, justifying the hit and run subtitle. And if this game were to ever be remade or a sequel come out, I would be the first person in line to get this. Following in the footsteps of Grand Theft Auto, we now have the True Crime series, which is comprised of 2 games, one that takes place in Los Angeles and the other in New York. And What's cool about the true crime games is that it actually tells the cop side of the story. And with the casting of big names throughout this game series, it provided a sense of legitimacy to it that many were ready to dismiss as a Grand Theft Auto ripoff. And unfortunately, as much of a commercial success this series was, at the same time, it was also a commercial failure, leading to the series being a duo of games left in the past. Last up, we have Driver 3, an all-time fan favorite of mine, and this game was released in June 2004. And in the game, it takes place across 3 different locations. The first and most prominent one is Miami, Florida, which is the same location that Vice City takes place in, or that it's a parody of. So it features, first off, many of the same locations because it takes place in the same city, inevitably. It also features many of the same gameplay mechanics and mannerisms and all that good stuff. But what makes this game an ultimate ripoff and parody of the GTA series is that in-game, first off, the character you play as, Tanner, he can actually swim. And we know in that Vice City you can't swim. So, in Driver 3, there are 10 characters by the name of Timmy Vermicelli. And if you notice, that's very similar to Tommy Vercetti, the protagonist of Vice City. These characters are scattered throughout Driver 3 and all 3 of its locations. And they're very hostile characters. And they feature a floral shirt similar to Tommy Vercetti's, but they're actually wearing water wings or floaties, basically making fun of the fact that Tommy Vercetti cannot swim in GTA Vice City. And I've covered this in a separate video. I'll link it down below in the description. But Rockstar Games and Ubisoft, the creators of the Driver series, actually have a lot of beef, and they take it out on each other throughout their games by making parodies. So that's pretty much my list of 5 games that ripped off the Grand Theft Auto series. If you have any more that you feel should have made the video, leave a comment down below and let me know which games those might be. And also, if you did enjoy the video and find it worthy of a like, then feel free to do that. If we could get 1,000 likes, that'd be awesome. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet to never miss out on another video game upload on my channel. And with that said, out of the way, I believe that's just about it. You guys all take it easy, have a safe one. My name is Zach Cox, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.